morning. My name is Ina McDowell. I'm Executive Director of Main Street, Texarkana. We're so excited to have you all join us this morning to celebrate another milestone in the progress and revitalization of our downtown community with the announcement of Texarkana becoming a Texas Cultural District. As many of you know, I'm not new. As many of you know, I'm not new to the downtown working community and certainly not to our city. Having grown up in Texarkana and raising 3 children here, I continue to realize the importance of our downtown and its reflection of our entire community. This morning's celebration of Texarkana as a Texas Cultural District makes it the first in Northeast Texas from among only 7 cities to receive the designation this year. And I also wanted to add that of those, 3 are Main Street communities, including Texarkana. Not only is it a tremendous honor, but demonstrates just what we as a community of 2 states can do when we work together. This designation reflects teamwork and confirms what we've known for a long time. We are a great city with much to offer in cultural activities, education, economic development, and tourism. Many have worked hard to make this accomplishment happen, and it could not have happened without the commitment of our Arts and Historic District Steering Committee. And I want to recognize each of them. And you can wave or stand or whatever. Brian Gazel, Executive Director of the Texarkana Regional Arts and Humanities Council and Perot Theater. Velvet Cool, President of the Texarkana Museum System. Mike Malone, President of the Texarkana Chamber of Commerce. Andrew Clark, Texarkana Symphony Orchestra, and they've been playing for us this morning. Main Street, Texarkana, and members of both cities of Texarkana. David Orr and Lisa Thompson with the City of Texarkana, Texas, and Mary Beck with the City of Texarkana, Arkansas. And there are several folks here today that are helping make this happen. Eric Etheridge with City of Arkansas that's going to be helping us out later as well. I would also like to thank our local community leaders, Main Street, Texas, and our county and state representatives for their gracious letters of support. And several of them are here today, and we appreciate you coming out this morning. This morning's celebration will include a presentation from Dr. Gary Gibbs of the Texas Commission on the Arts, a joint proclamation from our city mayors with a special recognition by Mayor Bruggerman, followed by a few words from our state representative, Gary Van Dever. Then, finally, we will conclude by making this morning's celebration another historic event with the largest group photograph taken in 2 states. So at the conclusion of the program, we ask that you all remain for just a few minutes and pose for an aerial photograph that will be taken with a drone. Please do not move until you get the okay that the photo is complete. So it may be 2 or 3 minutes, but we'll go quickly. And now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Gary Gibbs, Executive Director of the Commission on the Arts. Dr. Gibbs has been the Executive Director of the Texas Commission on the Arts since 2007. He's responsible for the development and administration of the policies, programs, and procedures of the state agency, which supports and promotes the creative industries throughout the state. Prior to joining the Texas Commission on the Arts, Dr. Gibbs served as Director of Education and Outreach at the Houston Grand Opera for 16 years. During his tenure, the education and audience development programs he administered achieved national recognition. He currently serves on the board of the National Assembly of State Arts Agencies and the Mid-America Arts Alliance. He has served on numerous other local and national panels, including the National Endowment for the Arts. Please help me welcome Dr. Gibbs.
Good morning, Texarkana. It's great to be here. I bring you also greetings from my colleagues at the Arkansas Arts Council. I let them know that this was happening and they were excited as well. I want to congratulate Texarkana for the leadership that you've shown, particularly from your elected officials, your community supporters, your artists, your arts organizations. The application process to be designated as a cultural district is a difficult and thorough one. And I'm sure those who served on this committee to put the application together can testify to that effect. But you were successful. A panel of individuals from throughout the state reviewed those applications, adjudicated them, and then determined that Texarkana was ready and able to be designated as a cultural district. The final decision was made by the commissioners. They're my board, all appointed by the governor. And at this time, I'd like to recognize a former commissioner of Texas Commission on the Arts from your community, Dr. Paul McCash. Texarkana has learned that the arts can be a valuable asset to a community. Research has shown that where the arts flourish, that's a place where people want to live, work, and play. It provides economic development, it enhances the quality of life in the community, and it contributes to the education of young people. Young people who are involved in the arts in school and after school are more successful academically, they graduate, and they tend to go on to higher education. You also should be aware that from an economic development standpoint, that cultural tourism is a big driver. And cultural tourists, research also shows, stay longer in a place and they spend more money than any other type of tourist. So by being designated as a cultural district, you can now use that in your marketing efforts to bring cultural tourists to your community. Well, they'll leave a few dollars here that will benefit your community. You know, in government, we do lots of whereases, and therefores, and I'm going to do a few of those this morning, but not all of them. Whereas a cultural district is a well-recognized, labeled mixed-use area of a community in which a high concentration of cultural facilities serves as the anchor of attraction. And whereas the Texarkana Arts and Historic District demonstrates that culture, the sum total of everything that shapes the way of life in a town, can lead to transformation, revitalization, economic development, and a better, more vibrant community. And whereas the Texarkana Arts and Historical District embodies the passion reflected in the strong cultural and artistic heritage of the state of Texas, now therefore be it resolved that on this 25th day of October 2016, the Texas Commission on the Arts celebrates the official Texas Cultural District designation of the Texarkana Arts and Historic District. Congratulations, Texarkana.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Bob Brugman, Mayor of the City of Texarkana, Texas.
And I'm Ruth Penny Davis. Oh, Lord, what a mistake. I am Ruth Penny Bell. Of all places. We are so grateful for your being here. And there was no way to cover that up, was there? Really no way. Thank you for being here. And I am so pleased that both of our cities are working together beautifully This man and I are practically joined at the hip. And so
Thank you, Mayor Bill. At least I know who I am, so just teasing, just teasing. I think this is also a very historic event. I believe this is the first time a joint proclamation has been read while standing in two different states, which I think is very, very neat this morning. We have a joint proclamation, and I'm going to begin reading a portion, excuse me, of the proclamation, and then Mayor Bell will finish reading the remaining part of the proclamation. A Texarkana joint proclamation. Whereas the Texarkana Arts and Historic District petitioned and was recognized by the Texas Commission for the Arts as an official Texas cultural district. And whereas cultural districts are special zones that harness the power of cultural resources to stimulate economic development and community revitalization. And whereas these districts can become focal points for generating businesses, attracting tourists, stimulating cultural development, and fostering civic pride. And whereas Texarkana is now one of 35 cultural districts in Texas and the first in the Northeast Texas region of the state. And
whereas the new designation also includes new opportunities for funding from cultural district project grants, and whereas this cultural district designation required an arduous application process that was completed by the steering committee of the Texarkana Arts and Historic District, which includes the following organizations: the cities of Texarkana, Texas, and Texarkana, Arkansas, the Texarkana Chamber of Commerce, Main Street, Texarkana, the Texarkana Museum System, the Texarkana Regional Arts and Humanities Council, and the Texarkana Symphony Orchestra. Now, therefore,
I, Bob Brugman, Mayor of the City of Texarkana, Texas,
and I, Ruth Penny Bell, Mayor of the City of Texarkana, Arkansas, do hereby recognize Tuesday, October the 25th, 2016 as Texarkana Cultural District Day. And we urge all citizens to celebrate this important achievement for our community. It is signed by both mayors and attested by both clerks, and we are pleased to be celebrating this day.
before we sit down, at this time I would like to recognize two very, very special guests whom we have with us this morning. I refer to these two individuals as our hometown heroes, and they are Mr. H. Ross Perot and his sister Betty. Would you all please stand? I just wanted to let you know, from time to time we have guests who come to our community, and I conduct a driving tour of our city, of the Twin Cities as a matter of fact, when they're here. And one of the locations that we always drive by is the home that you all grew up in at the corner of 29th and Olive. You were there this morning, so we certainly thank you, and they really enjoy driving by your home. We also drive by the Perot Theater, which your family was instrumental in providing the funding back in the 80s, I believe, the 1980s, to restore that beautiful theater. And we have many, many performances held there throughout the year. And we have you and your family to thank for our citizens, to allow them a place, and our guests from outside the community to come and to enjoy various concerts throughout the year, and dance recitals and all those types of things. So once again, thank you for your contribution to Texarkana, USA, and we wish you Godspeed. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this great celebration. It is truly a great day here in Texarkana. You know, I thought it might be a little cooler in Arkansas this morning, but I don't believe it's a bit cooler. We are enjoying a beautiful, warm fall day here at the end of October. You know, people ask, why is this such a big deal? And to be honest with you, I think many people wonder that. And I want to tell you that to me, there are many reasons this is a big deal. But I think there are three primary reasons it's a big deal, and some of them have already been mentioned this morning. You know, cultural arts and the arts in general are known to be an indicator of well-being. If you look at a community and look at a group of people, studies have shown that individuals who have attended at least one cultural event in the last 12 months are 60% more likely to be in good health. Now that's striking. We know, as a former educator, we know that the arts improve the cognitive abilities of children. That's why we have arts in school. And it's so good to see so many school students out here today to celebrate this, because you recognize the importance of the arts in your life. And then the arts have been used as interventions for diseases and conditions such as dementia, depression, and even Parkinson's disease, and have been shown to be effective in treating those situations. So the arts are very important to a city, to a community, for health reasons. The second is economic impact. You know, a study shows that the arts are known to contribute about $7.5 million to the Texarkana economy. But that's before being designated as an arts and historic district. And we've already heard that we can expect more economic impact coming from the arts and humanities here in Texarkana as a result of this designation. And then finally, and maybe the most important thing, I don't know, but finally, it brings the community together. As we see today, the community across the state line, across 2 states, have come together in celebration of this. And we see throughout the year, the community come together for arts and cultural events. You know, we can involve all the government agencies that we can identify out there to get involved in things like this. But without a sense of community pride, none of it is going to be successful. You know, just looking at the application that was necessary to accomplish this tells you that we have a sense of community pride here in Texarkana, and I congratulate you on that. So again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. Congratulations, Texarkana, USA, and may God bless.
Okay, we're now ready for our historic photo. Hopefully we're going to set a record in this moment in our history of Texarkana. Please stand, or if you're seated, of course, remain seated is fine. And everybody just look that way.